Hello, BookTube. Lately I've been so distracted with a batch of ill health and with Nonfiction November and with NaNoWriMo and with making sweet, sweet love to my new husband. But I've neglected mail hauls. That's a bad thing. I get lots of books in the mail, and we've been opening a lot of them over the years. So I have a big batch right here, and they're my jam. So I thought I'd open some today. Uh, just, just hold on, sweetie. I'll be right back to you. Starting with this little thing. We'll start small, and we'll see where this takes us. There's quite a few here. Uh, this is by Farrar, Straus and Giroux, and its title is "The Typeface is So Cool That It's Illegible." I think it's normal. I think the word is normal, by Warren Ellis, the comic book writer. So this will reek of pretension because comic book writers always think they're actual writers. They never are, not once, but you'll never find a successful one who doesn't have a wretched novel to his name. And this comes out in late November. Run, don't walk to the nearest comic shop, which is where you will find it. Then we have this thing. What's this? Also kind of small. I am playing around with my Lenovo yoga book, and I think quite a few of you emailed and said that you'd like a walkthrough of the thing, even though it's not book related. And I love tech channels. I love to make fun of them too because they all talk in the same stilted way. They talk normally when you're Skyping them one on one, and then when they get in front of a camera to do a product review, they start talking like a bro science version of an android. They say the dead giveaway is the word "the." They say it normally, like you and me, all the rest of the time. Put in front of the camera, invariably they say "the," and the backlit keyboard, and the specs are. I could do one of those. It'd be my very first tech video. But anyway, so the next one's a YA thing. It's Boy X by Dan Smith. His mother is a scientist. His dad was a soldier. Ash is something new altogether. And Kirkus Review says, intense, captivating, and distinctive. But those hacks at Kirkus will say that about anything. We'll just have to see, won't we? So this comes out in February of next year. I've been kind of amazed if many of the books we get today are 2016. I would think by now I wouldn't be getting any, but we're one for one here. Let's see this thing. Not only did it almost not make it to me, but it came through some sort of fiery inferno. If there's a fire theme in the book's title, I'm gonna plot. But let's see what this is. Oh, okay. This is The Shadowland by Elizabeth Kostova, the author of The Historian, that sort of launched her as a novelist, as a big writer of big, serious books. Just after arriving in the elegant East European city of Sofia, Bulgaria, a young American woman named Alexandra Boyd helps an elderly couple into a taxi and accidentally keeps one of their bags. Inside, she finds an ornately carved wooden box engraved with a name. Raising the hinged lid, she realizes that she is holding an urn filled with human ashes. As Alexandra sets out to find the family and return this precious item, she will first have to uncover the secrets of a talented musician whose life was shattered by oppression. Okay, so let's hope real strongly that she was chosen by that elderly couple. Otherwise, we've got a whole novel based on a coincidence, which is a little bit of a pet peeve. What if she turned it into the police? No novel? Let's hope she was chosen. I'll report back when I read it. I think the author is a delight, so I will get to it. When is this? This is April 2017. This is May 2017. Douglas Brunt, Trophy Son. Douglas Brunt is the author of the New York Times bestseller Ghosts of Manhattan and The Means. He's a Philadelphia native, and he lives in New York with his wife and 3 children. third novel tells the story of a tennis prodigy, Anton Stratus, from an isolated childhood of grueling practice under the eyes of his obsessed father to his dramatic rise through the intensely competitive world of professional tennis. Ooh, doesn't that sound interesting? Okay, so this is the spring. Boy X, Normal, Shadowland, and Trophy Sun. It's all fiction so far. Starting to get an oily taste in the back of my mouth. Let's hope for something about Normandy. Oh no, okay. This is science fiction. This is World Shaker by J.F. Lewis. Kind of a nice cover. It's the dragon, but also the clouds. It's sort of a nice cover. I also like the way that the dragon, the tip of the wing and the edge of the head are limned in what is obviously a sunset, but we don't see the sunset. That's neat. That's very well done. So this is book 3 in the Grudge Bearer trilogy. It could be the Donahue family going back 100 generations. How intensely frustrating. The cover design is by Jacqueline Nasso Cook. No word whether or not Jacqueline Nasso Cook did the illustration. Just the cover design. I'll have to find out. This is Prometheus Books, and this comes out in February. So always up for good fantasy. I don't think that I have any of the other Grudge Bearer books. Good lord, the size of that print. Jeez Louise. Well, you can't take your eyes with you, can you? All right, so this is pretty varied and pretty interesting, but also pretty gruesome. There's been no nonfiction so far. Let's try this one. Oh God, it's not a novel, but it's a novel that anyone can dance for joy with. It's the new Cory Doctorow, Walk Away. Cory Doctorow is fiction from Cory Doctorow is a cause for genuine joy. This is his first adult novel in 8 years, but he's one of the authors where I don't see the distinction. Little Brother is not a YA novel, or anything can be. Little Brother could be enjoyed by anyone and challenge anyone. Anyway, it's his first. Probably means there's sex. His first adult novel in 8 years is an optimistic disaster novel in which people are fundamentally good to each other after climate change destroys most of the world, and a handful of cities control much of the wealth. The challenge in the story hinges on the panic that rich people have about the actions of the poor, something frighteningly relevant in our current society. Oh goodness. What would happen if we could only play fair? Okay, Walk Away is the name of it. All right, well, this comes out in April. I admit that sounds a little simplistic, but sometimes his books do sound that way. They never end up being simplistic. That's all I care about. So, I'd really like to review that for the Washington Post. I will drop a polite word at the beginning of the new year. So we're getting to the bottom of this pile, and it's still only the made-up stories. This is alarming. Oh God, it's another novel. A Line Made by Walking by Sarah Baum. This is a bomb? Bring a bomber and a baby? Ooh. Sorry, couldn't help myself. It's a young artist's search for meaning and hearing and healing in rural Ireland. Good luck. Struggling to cope with urban life and life in general, Frankie, a 20-something artist, retreats to her family's rural house on Turbine Hill, vacant since her grandmother's death 3 years earlier. It is in this space, surrounded by countryside and wild creatures, that she can finally grapple with the chain of events that led her here, her shaky mental health, her difficult time in art school, and maybe, just maybe, regain her footing in art and life. And Sarah Baum studied fine art before earning a master's degree in creative writing. She was shortlisted for the Costa Fiction First Novel Award for Spill, Simmer, Falter, Wither, which was a really good book. Oh, okay. And was also the recipient of the Davy Byrne Short Story Award. Oh, you made that up. And she lives in Cork. All right, Very good. And there's two in this package here. And this second book in this package is also a novel. It's by Stephan Talty, and it's called The Black Hand. Sounds ominous. Beginning in the summer of 1903, an insidious crime wave filled New York City, and then the entire country, with fear. The children of Italian immigrants were kidnapped, and dozens of innocent victims were gunned down. Bombs tore apart tenement buildings. Judges, senators, Rockefeller, and society matrons were all threatened with gruesome deaths. The perpetrators seemed both omnipresent and invisible, their only calling card a symbol of a black hand. The crimes, whipped up by the slavering tabloid press, yay, one for the home team, and heated ethnic tensions to the boiling point. Standing between the American public and the Black Hand's lawlessness was Joseph Petrosino, dubbed the Italian Sherlock Holmes. He was famously dogged and ingenious detective and a master of disguise. As the crimes grew ever more bizarre and the Black Hand's activities spread far beyond New York's borders, Petrosino and the all-Italian police squad he assembled raced to capture members of the secret criminal society before the country's anti-immigrant tremors exploded into catastrophe. Oh, this isn't a novel. This is narrative history at its best, says the publicity material, and boy, doesn't it sound good. This isn't a novel at all. Praise be. The Black Hand is actually history. This Joseph Petrosino might sound fictional, but he's real. Oh, good. All right. So we've got a couple more here, but at least it wasn't a clean sweep. They never work. These things never work. All right. Okay. Well, this is clearly going to be a fiction-centric haul, but some fiction is better than others. This is Blood Vow by J.R. Warden. This is the Black Dagger Legacy. This is a spin-off of the Black Dagger Brotherhood. They are not to be missed if you're fans of a certain kind of steamy romance. And this comes out, it's out already. It comes out Tuesday? Today? Because it comes out on December 6th. Tuesday. That's a Tuesday, right? Yeah. So, I'll have to get right on it. Somehow I'll manage. It's a hardship to swallow the next Black Dagger book, but I'll do it. And then last is this one. This is the last one. So that was one holdout of nonfiction. That's pretty bad. And the last one is fiction as well. So, wow. This is Heretics by Leonardo Padura, translated from the Spanish by Anna Kushner. Due in March. It's a nice looking thing. Heretics. Translated from the Spanish. What have we got here? Fantastic blurbs. A sweeping novel of art theft, anti-Semitism, contemporary Cuba, and crimes from the internationally acclaimed author of The Man Who Loved Dogs. Okay. All right. It seems like it's much longer than The Man Who Loved Dogs. And The Man Who Loved Dogs, despite its title, bored me. So maybe this, what have we got here? 1939, the St. Louis sails from Hamburg into Havana's port with hundreds of Jewish refugees seeking asylum from the Nazi regime. From the docks, 9-year-old Daniel Kaminsky watches as the passengers, including his mother, father, and sister, become embroiled in a fiasco of Cuban corruption. But the Kaminskys have a treasure that they hope will save them, a small Rembrandt portrait of Christ. Yet 6 days later, the vessel is forced to leave the harbor with the family, bound for the horrors of Europe. The Kaminskys, along with their priceless heirloom, disappear. Nearly 7 decades later, the Rembrandt reappears in an auction house in London, prompting Daniel's son to travel to Cuba to track down the story of his family's lost masterpiece. He hires the down-on-his-luck private detective Mario Conde, and together they navigate the web of deception and violence in the morally complex city of Havana. Doesn't that sound great? Oh my God. All right, well, see, this is the thing about fiction. Just when you're ready to walk away, they hook you. That sounds fantastic. All right, well, there you have it. That was a big book haul. It was almost all fiction. That's a little bit to throw me off my stride. But at least we did a mail haul. So I'll see you soon, BookTube, and I won't let these go so long again. Thank you.